Good evening, Trump family. Welcome to Open Source News. Have a good night, everyone, and God bless you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notifications bell so you don't miss a thing. Alright, the following is a collection of news from Patriots. Let's get into the news. The Western Journal is reporting that Elon Musk may have just successfully sprang a trap for cheating Democrats. That's right. We're going to take a look at precisely what that trap is. We're going to see how the Democrats are fuming as we speak and how Elon Musk and the new Patriot-dominated Twitter are together getting the last laugh. You're not going to want to miss this. As I'm sure you will know, Elon Musk lifted the permanent ban against President Trump from Twitter after posting an online poll asking Twitter users if he should reinstate Trump. The yeses won out 52-48. Now, astonishingly, over 15 million votes were cast. It averaged around 1 million votes per hour, which so upset CNN. CNN has been trying to convince their ever-dwindling audience that no one wants to be on Twitter. Or you go, that's the world of CNN. They've deliberately weaponized J6 in the 2020 election as their twin default for trying to excommunicate half the population from the public square. And then they wonder why Elon Musk's free speech Twitter platform is so popular. But regardless of the unthinking clowns on CNN, here's where Musk seems to be a few steps ahead of them. At some point during the voting, concerns were raised that the anti-Trump vote was artificially inflating. Apparently, at first, the vote was overwhelmingly pro-Trump, supportive of him, of course, being reinstated on Twitter. And so there were concerns voiced in the platform that far-left bots were interfering with the online poll, and Elon Musk responded. But what the Western Journal notes here is how Musk responded. This was fascinating. Quote, "Bot and troll armies might be running out of steam soon. Some interesting lessons to clean up future polls." In other words, Musk, now armed with at least 15 million user accounts who voted most, particularly anti-Trump user accounts, thus has a massive left-wing list to dig into and resolve all of these bots and troll issues once and for all. Now, just to make sure we're all on the same page, especially those of us who grew up before the internet. A bot, which is short for robot, is simply a software application program to execute tasks that no longer have to be performed by human actors. So thinking, yep, the spam, you get your email, there isn't an actual person who's sending you that particular spam message, right? It's automated. It's coming from a single account that's sending out mass email messages and follow-ups that are all generated by some kind of software application. That's all a bot is. But while bots may seem relatively innocuous, they can actually be extremely significant in shaping public perception. One recent study found that among all of the Twitter information shared during the months of Trump's first impeachment, 31% were generated by bots. That's 1 out of every 3 to wheat. In other words, bots have become an active part of the online public debate, and they often deliberately seek to mislead, especially in relation to what has long been recognized as a very definite left-wing bias on Twitter. Interestingly, that same study also conducted an exhaustive investigation of pro-Trump and anti-Trump Twitter accounts. And they found that the anti-Trump accounts outnumbered pro-Trump accounts by nearly 2 to 1. They found 2.3 million anti-Trump accounts as opposed to 1.3 million pro-Trump accounts. So this study confirmed that there was, up until fairly recently, with so many leftists now leaving Twitter over Musk's takeover, but there was a very clear left-wing bias in the Twitter conversation, and a number of other studies have confirmed that bias as well. They also found, which I'm sure is no surprise to you, they also found that anti-Trump accounts had a significantly higher toxicity level than pro-Trump accounts, toxicity being the level of vitriol and hostility exemplified in the tweets of which I'm sure we have all been recipients in some way, shape, or form, those of us who certainly love Twitter accounts. And so it appears that Musk really wants to change he wants Twitter to now become a forum that's far more in line with the massive global trends that are going on, which are emphatically not liberal. The trends today, whether we look at Europe, Russia, India, China, the Middle East, Sub-Saharan Africa, the trends are overwhelmingly moving towards a far more conservative, nationalist, populist, traditionalist, religious world. Musk is aware of this, and he's intent on taking Twitter away from the cry-bully woke leftists in their pathetic excommunicative practice of cancel culture. And he's trying to change the bot system that is, at least to an extent, a residual effect of that cry-bully wokeness that once dominated the Twitterverse but is now becoming nothing more than a thing of the past. And, as a result, Musk has become public enemy number one among the Democrats. As you heard on that silly CNN clip, there's a full court press to undermine and degrade both Twitter and Musk. They're accusing him of becoming a full-fledged conspiracy theorist, either with the latest FTX Democrat scandal or the Pelosi break, in which, of course, it's all falling apart. As you know, the original story regarding the Paul Pelosi affair peddled by legacy media is absolutely unraveling. I cannot wait to see the police body cam footage, but again, regardless, the Democrats and their pathetic mouthpieces and the lamestream media are doing absolutely everything they possibly can to demonize Elon Musk and the global Twitter free speech platform. That is, we're finding with this online poll and the whole bot situation, the last days of dominating the media are indeed coming to an end. Musk has outplayed them at every hand, and there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop free speech's rise along with their own demise. You're not going to believe this, but they want to indict Trump again for having relations with Stormy Daniels and a non-disclosure agreement she signed. And I'm going to try to link that to his tax returns in some way. So the Manhattan District Attorney is probing Trump, Stormy Daniels, which can be interpreted in very bizarre ways also. So New York Magazine, Manhattan, Bragg reportedly probing Trump, Stormy Daniels. New York Times, Manhattan prosecutors moved to jumpstart criminal inquiry into Trump. They're desperate. They have nothing. They know that the walls are closing in on them. And you can just look. Business Insider Stormy Daniels explains in her new book why she signed the infamous non-disclosure agreement. She signed a non-disclosure agreement. She signed a document stating that she would engage in a certain activity and not talk about it. Okay. So nobody was forced to do anything. Now, because it was not viewed as a campaign finance violation. Neither, like Mueller, couldn't find any campaign finance laws broken. Nobody could. Was storming in the NDA, Michael Cohen, actually, who was convicted of crimes that had nothing to deal with Trump, actually crimes of his own linked to taxi medallions, was the person who actually worked with Stormy to have her sign the NDA, and they couldn't find anything. So they can't find anything in terms of mishandling classified data. So they're going to have a special prosecutor, a special counsel. Okay. So they don't really have anything left to go after Trump on. He's not going to get indicted, almost certainly, if they indicted him or went in a court of law. But they're waiting for either a plea deal from Hunter or an indictment, which would be very bizarre. Because Hunter is too close to Joe in terms of an indictment. The DOJ should have already indicted Hunter. His emails show clear violations, graft bribery schemes. The best offense, though, it's the same reason that they didn't indict Hillary. Comey said there were laws broken, but no reasonable prosecutor would indict. Ladies and gentlemen, Republicans should thank God for Donald Trump. But you look and it's like, they couldn't find anything with January. He didn't incite or compel people to commit crimes. They couldn't find anything with the Mueller probe. They couldn't find anything. Or in Georgia, him pressuring officials. They couldn't find anything. In New York was tax returns. Now they're going back and reliving failed investigations. They don't have anything on the man. He's the most investigated. Like the Clintons up until recently were the most investigated people, but they actually did commit crimes. Clinton could have been indicted also for there was a Travelgate issue, where I think she committed perjury. Bill Clinton committed perjury also. What is his? Oh, I never had relations. Yeah, he lied under oath. That's a crime. Okay, he lied under oath. He did have relations. The problem is he didn't have an NDA. Or I don't even know the Brown was. He was in the Oval Office. And then they called Trump adulterous. It's like, hello. Look in the mirror. Democrats are the best at throwing stones when they live within glass houses, but they don't understand it. The average wonderful, morally superior, highly educated Democrat doesn't understand hypocrisy. You don't see like politics as a dirty game. Some people, some political machines are dirtier and shady or nastier than others. So Bush, Cheney and Rumsfeld. They were the epicenter of corruption within American politics 20 years ago. All of those people are now within the Democratic Party. Interestingly enough, ladies and gentlemen, on a side note, there is a Democratic strategist who writes for a liberal publication who tweeted out something very similar to the despicable, disgusting viewpoint expressed by a personality who now has to give $1 trillion or to give $1 trillion. Okay. Regarding an atrocity and a horrific tragedy that took place years back. So this strategist is Lincoln Project. Democratic strategist tweeted something very similar to the sentiment that led to a billionaire however much money this pundit was ordered to pay for his views on an atrocity. It's interesting how Democrats ignore the people within their own sphere of influence, so to speak, how those people can get away with the most disgusting sentiments. But apparently, they live within a world like this morally relative world, so Hunter can engage in deviant conduct. You have his emails, you have his videos, you have his pictures, you have the money flow, 150, suspicious financial transactions, you have all of that. But you have a system along with Never Trump heirs that protect. I should say this, I love the New York Post, even though I disagree with them on their stance against Trump. But at the end of the day, they'll endorse Trump over mashed potato brains or Hillary. I think Hillary is gonna run, God bless her. She should run, I think she will. Can I tell you something? When she runs, just remember, I have been telling you for the past 1 million years that she was going to run. But anyway, I don't even know what I was saying. The bottom line is you have a situation where they're going after Stormy, they're going after Trump. They're gonna try to indict him because he had relations with Stormy. And he didn't disclose the NDA, and his tax returns was what, 100 grand that he gave her. So I mean, the whole issue here is that they are desperate. They despise Trump so much they're desperate to get him. Even the Never Trump people are desperate to get him out of politics. The funny thing is, Liz Cheney, this is the ironic, sad, hypocritical thing. Liz Cheney voted alongside Trump 92% of the time. So why doesn't she back Trump? She doesn't back Trump because his foreign policy is the antithesis of Lincoln Project foreign policy. He wants to negotiate with people before they invade a country under mashed potato brains as watch. And so you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where everything bad that could have taken place that was supposed to have taken place under Trump's administration is taking place under Biden's invasion in Europe recession. We're going to have layoffs, unfortunately. Like all Silicon Valley that voted desperately, they were obsessed with taking down Trump, they're now experiencing the repercussions. Be careful what you wish for. Do you want to know Trump? Well, now you have mashed potato brains. And the tech sector is like the canary in the coal mine. It usually isn't. It's usually the other way around, blue-collar jobs. But now the tech sector is foreshadowing what's going to take place. Now you have Amazon laying off 1,000s, and you have 1,000s and 1,000s in different other technology companies getting laid off, and the majority of these people wanted Trump out of the Oval Office, but this wasn't happening with Trump in the Oval Office. Thank you very much. WWG1WGA. Give me your thoughts below and